Good evening, everyone. My name is
Okay.
Esther Adeyemi, and this is the overview of my cybersecurity internship training with Blue Sky Citadel. For the content, I have introduction to cybersecurity, also to key regulations and standards, and the MITRE ATT&CK framework. Introduction to cybersecurity. Basically, cybersecurity is about application of technologies, process and controls to protect systems, network, programs, devices, and data from cyber attack. So the fundamentals of cybersecurity lies on these three things: confidentiality, availability, and integrity. And confidentiality is all about keeping our information safe from unauthorized people. Integrity is to make sure that this data is not modified or changed. And availability simply means that anytime this information is needed, you can request from it.
1 minute gone.
Importance of cybersecurity, as you can see on the screen: better data management, regulation compliance. And here are common buzzwords in cybersecurity, from authentication all through the way to DNS poison. Basis of networking. Networking is the connection of two or more computers. Everything we do today, we connect and share resources, and different types of network, which includes the LAN that every one of us is familiar with, and others. And here are some of the devices that are used in networking. We hear of routers every day. Every one of us use routers in our house, bandwidth, which measures the speed of our internet connection. OSI model and TCP and IP model. This model is very important because these are the stages that all the data we send every day goes through before it gets, we get our data connection, any data we send through from one device to the other. This is the process of
2 minutes
transmission
gone.
of data. So I'll move on to the role of a SOC analyst. Here are some of the role of a SOC analyst, and we've been taught that for event and log analysis management, we participate in the security audits and we learn new attack patterns. So here are some of the tools: vulnerability assessment, right to data loss prevention, penetration testing, and the rest. So how data breach happen? Two main things: weakness in technology and user behavior. That is why we have data breach happening in the information security space. So here are one of the, the main reason for hackers is just because of financial gain. That's their main motivation. And you can see they use different methods like social engineering, manipulating people to willingly compromise their data information for them to be able to hack them. So
3 minutes gone.
how do we prevent it? Patching and updating our software and educating users. Here's one of the biggest cyber attacks that happened in 2017 that shook the whole world. And this is caused by vulnerability in the Microsoft operating system. It was finally stopped by a British researcher that is called Marcus. He invented a stopwatch that helped the vulnerability to go away. And here are some of the social engineering attack. We have phishing attack, vishing attack, and the rest. We also looked at legitimate and phishing email. How do you identify a legitimate email from a phishing email? And these are some of the things that we looked at during the course of our training. And here are the analysis I did in the class with different tools: VirusTotal, MSO Toolbox, and the rest. We moved on to log connection and analysis. We can see the way that we collect
Last
logs
minute.
every day: servers, network devices, and applications. This is an example we did in the class. We moved on to key regulations and compliance. Some of this we are familiar with: this payment card industry, GSS, that ensures that our information on our card is safe. We move to incident response. How do we respond to incidents as a cybersecurity analyst? Classification of incidents, malware analysis. We use Wireshark to analyze our packets. This is
30
exactly
seconds.
And this is MITRE ATT&CK framework, the different three iterations in the attack, and how we can use them. And finally, we moved on to Sentinel, which we are doing currently. We use it to connect, detect, and investigate and respond to cybersecurity threats. And that is what I've done so far in this internship. I believe I've been equipped with the knowledge, skills, and tools needed to effectively monitor, detect, and respond to cybersecurity threats. Thank you so much for listening.
Time up. Exactly 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. I love this. And I love that you were not even interrupted. Even as Lightning was talking, you were still going on. That was fantastic. And that's what we expect. That's fine. I hope you were able to express yourself completely too. So well done, Esther. Well done.
Thank you.
So I think that was good. And one thing I can say, I want to say, Lightning, can you give them 4 minutes for them to do what they need to do? All right. Then you cannot give them 30 minutes remaining. Then because sometimes 30 seconds like that. Yeah. Some people can Esther did well anyway. She didn't even listen to you, but which is good. But some people could just start to panic.
It's okay. I'm so sorry. The reason why I was doing 1 minute is to also act as a guide so that they know they can plan their speed, so that they could end within 5 minutes rather than wait.
1 minute. Let's stop recording first.
You can start recording.
Good evening, everybody. I did a report. I was a bit confused. I didn't know if it's a report or a presentation, but I just did something in form of a report. So in our cybersecurity training, the summary of what we did was the fundamentals of the concepts of cybersecurity, basics of networking components and simulation, using Cisco Demoed Packer, social engineering, emphasis, log analysis, and collection. This we all did included security tools, and we did a deep dive on Wireshark network analysis using Wireshark incidents, MITRE ATT&CK report, and CM. So now these are I have a screenshot of what we did on the course. In the first course, after the introduction, it gave a comprehensive overview of the security operations and areas of expertise with which we could go into, and also some of the industry buzzwords. So the next thing we did was the basics of networking, which Patricia Emmanuel took us into. She taught us about OSI models, their relations to cybersecurity, network devices, and software layers and protocols. So I also uploaded a screenshot of what we did, types of network, OSI models, network topology. And it was a very good one we did. At least he also delved into networking fundamentals, and which also empowered us in the essential knowledge of network types, which is actually a basis for cybersecurity, having a good understanding of networking system. Then James Akimbami took us on simulation workshop on using Cisco Packet Tracer, which I also uploaded a screenshot of some of it, so which was also a good one. It gives us an insight the way network packets also go between devices and within a network with the network system, and also had the opportunity of also configuring our endpoint devices and also routers. From there, we've also proceeded into social engineering with a particular focus on phishing and email analysis. What is social engineering, the types, the mechanism, types of phishing attacks, and also delved into how to analyze emails, differentiating that which is a scam email and non-scam email. What actually could the phishing emails, what actually depicts a phishing email, and we also delved into how to analyze it using tools like MX Toolbox, Virus Total, URL Scan, and IP Void. So I also uploaded a screenshot and also a test case scenario of what I did, an email I had, and which was also obviously a phishing email, and how I could detect it was a phishing email too. From there, we also went into talking about logs, which Patricia Emmanuel did a very good job in teaching us what logs are used for, and how essential it is in cybersecurity, how we can use it to in forensic reports, and and what the various parts of logs, and how we could also use it to trace malicious actors in it. From then we went into and another thing she taught us in logs is that how you could use regulatory frameworks, to make sure that cybersecurity standards are particularly observed in an organization too. And from there, we also went into obviously, I have some screenshots of what we did. Then James Akimbamitu also took us into security tools. We have offensive and defensive security tools with a special focus on Wireshark too. And after that, we went into incidents reports, which Patricia Emmanuel also took us into, and the stages of incidents, incident response, and how to prepare a report on that. We obviously we also use this to, we also prepared we also went through a workshop of preparing reports with also the Wireshark. Then she also took us on MITRE framework, which was a very good one, which is actually a compendium or a library of attacks and how to mitigate them and the processes we have to follow to mitigate them. And finally, we are delved into CM, using the Azure, using the Microsoft Azure Sentinel. So in conclusion, what we did, I have the links of all the things and my assignments and presentation for the sprint too. In conclusion, what we did was very good, but I also have a recommendation that I think I'll have to make is that we need to add more, increase the lecture time. We only had like 20 hours a week, which could be nice if we could increase it to 30 hours a week. We also need probably some more detailed courses, fundamental courses to also help us. But overall, I would say it was a very, very good course and it was a privilege doing it. And moreover, we have a hands-on experience on workplace. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Lightning. That was great. Well done. We have a lot to do today. Okay, next person, please. Said, are you ready for us?
Time starts now.
This is my individual report for cybersecurity from Sprint 0 to Sprint 4. The internship started in January 11, 2024, and it's going to end in April.
Said, 1 second, please. Said, can you, put it in presentation mode? I think we can go to your view.
My individual report.
Sorry, are you able to, hold on a second, are you able to hide and,
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Said Adekoju. This is my individual report for cybersecurity from Sprint 0 to Sprint 4. The internship started in January 11, 2024, and it's going to end in April 13th, 2024. Introduction. The internship started with the onboarding of interns and what's expected from us as an intern and what we're going to learn for the course. For example, issues like escalation, impediment, and the right channels to communication were discussed, contacting our body's mentor and we need clarity on some concept that relates to our area of specialization. We had opportunity to attend introduction of some courses on my area of interest, cybersecurity. Thereafter, I was assigned to group, team, and cybersecurity guild. Sprint 1, I volunteered myself to lead the cybersecurity role in Team Eagles. I learned the concept of cybersecurity, the roles of security operations center, analyst, and I was exposed to some tools which were listed below. Tools like the Cisco Packet Tracer. We did an analysis on that, and the session was taken by James. He walked us through on how to connect different routers and using the Cisco Packet Tracer. And also during the Sprint 0, I was introduced to the Azure DevOps board on how to navigate through the board and how to write attacks and the likes. And then Sprint 1, I attended social engineering session. We were given a task to analyze and write a report about a WannaCry ransom attack. And below is the summary of the WannaCry ransom attack. And during the report, I found out that there are two types of ransomware attack, which are crypto ransomware and localhost ransomware. But basically, the WannaCry attack, the impact and the vulnerability were all also written in the report. And the summary of the investigation was the findings from the investigation is that it's evident to note that the WannaCry attack 2026 was caused by an exploit developed by the US NSA to monitor backends of Windows X and Windows 7. And thereafter, we also learned phishing emails and non-phishing emails, and how to differentiate between phishing emails and non-phishing emails using tools like MS Toolbox. Below, these are the screenshot of email we analyzed from my inbox, like, and how to check which are phishing emails and non-phishing emails. This screenshot is an example of a phishing email. And these are also a report from the email header I analyzed using the MS Toolbox for phishing email as well. And we also did like a differentiate between phishing email and non-phishing email, how to identify a phishing email and non-phishing email. Below is a table I wrote on the differences between phishing email and non-phishing email during the sprint 1 as well. Then sprint 2, we also did log analysis in sprint 2, whereby we were given a simulation on how to analyze the various screenshots here, like what happened, and how to go in there to know what is the cause of what happened as regards of the log, and how to know if the attackers were able to get to the system or not, and how to go and prevent such scenarios in the future. Like, and the scenario 1 for the first screenshot was Firelog external access attempt, and how the report I wrote was there was an attempt to access the Windows system, but it was failed. It was blocked because it was unsuccessful, because the vendor blocked it, and scenario 2 was about Windows security event log entry as well. It was a failed attempt as well. And in sprint 3, we talked about it was also in sprint 2, we also learned an incident response task. These are screenshots of the simulation we also did in class, and how to analyze incident response as well. Then we moved to sprint 3. Sprint 3, we did more of Wireshark analysis, which was taken by James as well, on how to analyze network
30 seconds.
network analysis as well. These are screenshots of the analysis which I did as well for the sprint 3 for the Wireshark analysis. And these are my summary of the report. In sprint 4, we were focusing more of Microsoft and Azure Sentinel. This is a screenshot of the interface of the virtual machine which I set up for the sprint 4. So this is it. Then please note that most of my screenshots are in my artifacts and separate documents. So I didn't populate most of my screenshots in this report. Thank you for your time.
5 minutes, 6 seconds.
I'm done.
All
Thank
right. Thank you. Please pause the recording. Yeah.
Your time starts now.
So good evening, everyone. I'm Abi Babatunde. So during the course of the internship, we looked at what cybersecurity is and the fundamental security principles, which are the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These 3 things are so essential. Confidentiality refers to security information. Like this, only authorized users have access to an information. Then integrity means that the information should not be altered in any which way. Then availability means that the information should be available for unauthorized users. Then after that, we looked at some common cybersecurity threats, where we looked at malwares, type of malwares, where we have the ransomware attack, phishing attack, social engineering, insider threats, then denial of services, and the likes. So then we look at the basics of networking. Yeah, as you know, that networking is interconnection of computers, servers, just to share resources. Then we have the type of networking, depending on the locality, where we have the local area network, the metropolitan area network, and wide area network as well. Then we have networking devices. These are the devices that makes our information to be shared seamlessly, where we have the switches, they have the router, the firewall, the server, and the endpoints as well. Then we have the OSI model. This consists of 7 layers. So this what I have here: the application, the presentation, the session, transport, network data, and the physical layers, and what they all stands for, what they really works for there. Then after that, we looked at Cisco Packet Tracer, where we had hands-on lab practice, where we connected L2 PC into a router to share resources. And as you can see from here, I was able to configure the router to have an IP address, and the two PCs also were given IP address. And with this, I was able to ping from PC1 to check the activeness of PC2 and vice versa as well. So this shows there was a communication between the two PC, which the information is passing from PC1 to the router, then from the router to the PC2 as well. Then we look at the overview of securities, the essential of security, and some of the responsibility of a SOC analyst as well. Then the major tools being used, where we have the VirusTotal, MS Toolbox, Wireshark, SIMS, and the likes. So on going furthermore, I was taught how to analyze a mail, just to know the difference between how to analyze a phishing mail and to know the difference between a phishing mail and legitimate mail. And these are some of the practices some of the works I did during the course of the study. And I have the screenshots here and the procedure to go through it. Then during the course of the study as well, we looked at log analysis, and during the training, we were given some logs and we were told to analyze it. Actually, we did all that together in the class, and these were the analysis we had from the 4 logs being given. Then after that, we looked at the incident response, where some scenarios were given in class as well. And these are the summary of the incident response. That's what to do, the level of the incidents, and how to go about the incidents. Then we looked at Wireshark. These are an open source tools used to analyze our network. Then we are taught how to use the Wireshark to analyze network, and the main usefulness of Wireshark is it can be used to filter our packets. And in class, we are given some exercise to do, where James gave us some pickup, and he told us to work on the pickup and analyze the traffic passing through the exact network to be able to check out for any malicious packets. And these are what
30
I've done.
seconds.
This is me filtering the HTTP traffic to check if there's any malicious traffic passing through the network at that point in time. And these are what I came out with, me analyzing with VirusTotal and NSLOOKUP. And these are the executive summary. So in a case whereby there's a malicious packet passing through the network, so these are the executive summary of it, and the recommendation whenever there's a malicious packet passing through it, then we just need to isolate the system from other networks so it won't affect the main the major network. Actually, we worked on SIMs, but I was unable to set up my SIMs due to I didn't have a Mastercard to set it up, to set the virtual machine up. Thank you. That's me.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Abaraje Benagata, presenting the cybersecurity, my final presentation. Here is our course outline for this internship. We have introduction to cybersecurity fundamentals, basic network security, overview of security operations, social engineering, understanding log analysis and collection, mastering its security tools, incident response, Wireshark, pickup analysis, meta attack and framework, and Azure Sentinel. An introduction to cybersecurity. Now, cybersecurity, from my understanding so far, it's all about protection. That is protecting the cyberspace from cybercrime. It has its own benefits, which mainly deals with protection from both internal and external threats. It improves business productivity and trust of business. Then we'll move basically into basics of networking. Networking itself is a process that contains everyone and everything. How devices connect to each other, how we make use of their hubs, their switches, and ensures all these components and hardware are configured according to standards and procedures that establish the security of data information and resources. Here is an analysis of this hardware connections, where we make use of routers, switches. This is one of them, which we did in class. One of our presentation we did in class, the assignments we're giving. Another is also the OSI model, which has to do with 4 layers, 4 different layers. These layers consist of the physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer, of which each and every of these layers have exactly what they do for us. Just like the data link defines the format of data network, we have the network layer that decides which physical parts this data will take. We have the transport layer that protects, that talks about using transmission protocols in transmitting data and the likes of it. Then we moved into the 2017 Wirecry ransom attack. Everything about this attack was the vulnerability and was not managed well. And then the badwagons got into this cyberspace and was requesting for ransom money for retrieval of this data from the original owners. Now, what did this, what was the impact of this attack? It has to do with files that were taken over by the bad guys. They couldn't recover this file except they've been asked to pay in terms of some were Bitcoin. They were requesting for Bitcoin payments. And then we're asked, in this scenario in class, what would you have done as a cybersecurity analyst? What would you have done? We redesign and implement strategies that contain and recover these incidents. We do a penetration testing to identify possible attack vendors, and you give close monitoring of security threats. Swiftly investigate and respond to security threats. Role of a SOC analyst in cybersecurity. This was actually an assignment given, and we got to understand that the SOC is actually consists of 3 tiers that makes up the SOC team. We have the tier 1, which is the TRINIT specialist that does the collection of raw data, review alerts, notification, and alarms. Whatever that information that could not be sorted with by the tier 1 SOC analyst, pass into the incident responder, which is the tier 2 SOC analyst. What do? They review whatever was unable to be done by the tier 1 SOC analyst, transform data collected from tier 1 into actionable threats, intelligence, design and implement strategies to contain and recover from all incidents. Then we'll have the tier 3, which is the threat hunters. We also have the SOC managers, who does majorly to supervise the security operations team, adequately manage the team, and accessing incident reports. And then we'll move down to the social engineering. Social engineering is all about phishing. Phishing has to do with a phishing email is an attack that attempts to steal identity by getting you to reveal personal information to those that are not they're not supposed to have your information. We have different tools using analyzing it. We have the VirusTotal, MX Toolbox. You realize these are analysis of these tools, as well as the types of phishing. How do you know a phishing email? How do you know a legit email? Most of the time, the phishing email is just too good to be true. So you have to be inquisitive. Look out for possible type of wrong information. And then you have that. We also have the mastering log and compliance. We talked about how you gather logs for analysis and then security insights. We looked at security tools, the defensive and the offensive. We talked about Wireshark is a beautiful one. And we talked about the incident response. How do we go about the challenges of overloading, getting so much alerts at the same time? We can bring about fatigue. We talked about clear best practices of incident response, clarity, and relevance. That we also talked about Wireshark, which is an analysis tool. Protocol Analyzer talks about how we analyze packets, malware analysis, check user agents, and identify domain names. And then that is Wireshark for us. This is also a data Wireshark analysis. We talked about the MICA attack. This is like an encyclopedia of cybersecurity. It tells you taxes.
Time up.
And then Azure Sentinel. Thank you.